So, welcome everyone once again to today's Friday Spotlight feature. So, the topic of discussion today is attendance management, and myself is Sai Kodali. I'm a senior support consultant at Mesh Group. To start off with, so let's look at what is the agenda to cover in this session. So, as the topic says, attendance management. So, this is a combined webinar for both Cricos and Hired. So, we have people who is working on the Cricos Article Manager platform and also on the Best Hired platform, joining in this session today. So the attendance management is a common feature across both the platform. So we're doing it together for all of the people. So basically, the flow of today's session is you're gonna understand how important are the class timetables and how you can set up the attendance sessions when you create the class timetables. And we're going to look at what is a flexible timetable structure in the mesh platform. So you may have heard from different staff members or from the support or from different persons from the mesh team that we have a feature that says flexible timetable, and many may be confused with what is flexible timetable. So I'm going to explain in detail what is a flexible timetable and how can you enable it for different courses and what exactly is this concept. And we also look at what are the different attendance marking options that we currently have in the system. And for higher ed platform as an optional thing, apart from the regular standard classes you set up, we also have a feature that supports catch-up and macro classes. Then we're going to look at how these can be created. And also we're going to understand how the course attendance percentages and the projected attendance percentages in the system are calculated on high level. And then we're going to look at the commonly used reports for tracking attendance percentages and for sending attendance warning letters. So yeah, let's move on to the next one. So firstly, to start off with, setting up class timetables and attendance sessions. Class timetables are the foundation for attendance tracking. So this is the backbone for attendance. When you create class timetables in the system, so generally you create a class timetable for a particular subject, which is running on a Monday from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. The class duration is for 2 hours. So when you create the class timetable, you have an option to choose as attendance type. So attendance type, these are configurable options. So you can choose as 2 hourly or 4 hourly one session, depending on your need. So this means that so when you have a class, let's say for 2 hours, now how do you want to record the attendance? Do you want to record attendance for every hour, or you want to record it for one whole session, for whole 2 hours class session? Depending on the attendance type you set up for the class timetable, the attendance can be marked accordingly. Okay, so and it is also very, very important to have accurate class start time, class end time, and it is also very important to record the breaks. Generally, if there are any breaks, if it is a long class which is running for 8 hours, 4 hours in the morning and then 4 hours in the afternoon, or it's 4 hours class with 2 hours and 2 hours and 15 minutes in break in between. So it's very, very important that a lot of common questions or common issues that we get from the colleges or from the staff, we have created a class, but the attendance is not recorded correctly. The attendance is not coming correctly because of the reason that if it's a 4 hours class and half an hour is a break, then the break is not recorded correctly. So after creating the class timetable, if there is any break in between the class duration, then you have to record the break timing separately, so the attendance will not be calculated for the break session. And it's very important to double check whether the class timetables have been correctly created with the class start time, end time, semester, subject, day, and everything have been done correctly. Okay, so most important thing when it comes to flexible timetable. So for Cricos, some are using it, some may not be using it for higher ed. Every higher ed platform by default, when we do the initial site setup, we enable the courses to have the flexible timetable. So the flexible timetable can be set up at the course level. If you set it up a particular course as a flexible timetable, all the subjects or classes that you're going to create under that course will have the flexibility. So what exactly is this concept? So the flexible timetable feature in the MES platform allows the students to attend sessions across multiple batches. So you have a subject, for example, English for business professionals is a subject. So that has a class. So morning batch and then evening batch. Morning batch 4 hours class Monday to Friday, and then evening batch 4 hours class which is running on Monday to Friday. If the student has to attend Monday to Friday classes for this specific subject, so what exactly does this flexible timetable does is the student will get the flexibility to attend Monday to Wednesday morning class, Monday to Wednesday morning session class, and then Thursday and Friday he can choose to attend the evening class. So that means he will be joining both batch A and batch B for this specific subject. So this is the flexibility the student is getting to enroll in the subject and then attend the classes as per his need. And all the higher ed platforms uh, have been using it. Some in the Crackers platform, they have been using it, some may not be using it. But if you set it up at the course level, once a particular course has been marked as a flexible timetable, and uh, the student has to be enrolled in the main class batch and also the flexible class timetables as well. And you're not gonna go back and then you cannot change the course from flexible to non-flexible. So that is something that secondary. So this is how the flexible timetable concept works in the MES platform. So simple, this lets the students to flexibly attend for multiple batches across the subject. Okay. So now coming to the attendance marking options we currently have in the system. So depending on the class timetables you create, Monday class, 8 a.m. to 10 p.m., 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. there's a class. So you can mark the attendances for the specific class, day and time for the time the student has attended the class. And there's one more way of recording the attendance, which is the bulk attendance. So bulk attendance for a particular week, if the student has to attend, as per compliance requirements, every student has to attend 20 hours of class, 20 hours of class. So you can record the attendance bulk for the whole week, and then the attendance gets divided per day. And the daily attendance is you record it for each and every individual class, depending on if it is 8 to 10 hours, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Then if the student has attended both 8 a.m. to 10 a.m., both the hours, then you record the attendance for the specific day and the class. Generally, we recommend to use the daily class attendance. The weekly attendance is not recommended. If you're creating class timetables and then you're enrolling the students into these class timetables, then it is advised and recommended to only use the daily class attendance. And weekly attendance is for the platforms or the colleges who are not creating class timetables and not assigning the class timetables to the students. And it is not recommended to use both the approaches of recording attendance. Either use weekly or daily. You cannot mix and match. And for some students you use weekly attendance, and for some students bulk attendance. For some students you use daily attendance. So that's gonna create a lot of attendance issues in the system. So please use daily attendance for recording attendance. So the teacher or the trainer or the admissions or the academic staff, they can log into the platform and then go to attendance management, select the respective class, and then get all the students and then mark them as present. Okay. So for the higher ed, as I said, this is not there in the RTOM manager platform. So for the higher ed, we have an additional feature. Under the timetable, you can also schedule the catch-up or makeup classes in the system. So what does the makeup class means? Makeup class is a replacement class. If there is any public holiday in a particular state, and then on that the class that is scheduled on that public holiday can be replaced with a different day. You can schedule that class on a different day. Under these managed requests, you can create it as a catch-up, makeup, or consulting class, and then you can assign the students who has a class on the public holiday and record the attendance only for that specific day and specific class. Catch-up class is for the students who have lately joined the class and missed some of the classes. For them to catch up, you can create a catch-up class, and then you can record the attendances for those classes. And the last one, we have the consulting class. This is not a regular class. This is for the students where they can meet the teacher and then get guidance on have some, if they have any questions they want to get them answered in a class, then they can create a consulting class. So even if you create a catch up or makeup class, once the class is created and students are assigned, there wouldn't be no difference in recording the attendance. So however you record, how you record the attendance for the normal class, so in the same manner you can record the attendance for both catch up and makeup classes. So there wouldn't be any difference in how you record the attendance for this class time. Okay. So now the next thing we have is a course attendance percentage and projected attendance. So generally, if you have a course and then the student is attending the classes for various subjects in that course, the system would calculate the attendance percentage. So we have course attendance, course current attendance percentage, and also projected attendance percentage. So the common questions that we get from the staff from different colleges is what exactly is the projected attendance, how the projected attendance is calculated in the system. So for a specific student, the common questions that we get and common issues is like, for this student, the attendance percentage is showing 100% or 80%. And how do you, what we can get from this projected attendance? So course attendance is one thing, and then course and projected attendance is a different thing. Course attendance is depending on the number of class hours that's been scheduled, how many hours the student has attended. If the class is for 4 hours and then the student has attended all 4 hours, then the course attendance for that specific subject on the day will be 100% attendance. Okay, so the projected attendance is an estimated attendance percentage. So depending on the existing student attendance pattern, if he has attended one class, two classes, or three classes out of 5 classes, if the student has only attended one class, and then there are remaining classes to attend throughout the course, then if we continue with the same attendance pattern, by the end of the course, what would his attendance look like? So this is an estimated attendance percentage. We have a specific formula the system calculates at the back end. So I don't want to confuse you with the calculations and all. So on high level, the projected attendance is an estimated attendance percentage. By the end of the course, if the student continues with the same attendance pattern, what would his attendance look like if you're going to attend all the remaining classes with 100% attendance? So this is very important for you to identify the students at risk. As per the compliance requirements, so 80% is attendance minimum requirement. Then you can really identify the students who are falling under 80% attendance requirement, and then you can take some action or put them in an intervention plan, and then give them the guidance necessary for them to keep up with the attendance. So once you have recorded the attendance correctly in the system, so there are various reports the staff can use to identify the students with different attendance percentages, and you identify the students who has not attended the classes. So some of the common reports I have put together here. View student list with actual percentage less than selected percentage. So if the student has an attendance percentage less than 80%, if you want to identify who are all the students who has course attendance percentage less than 80, then you can run this report and then get the list of all the students who has attendance less than 80%. And then you can send them the warning letters, or you can put them in the intervention, and so on and so forth. So another important report is a 5 consecutive attendance missing list. If the student continuously misses 5 continuous consecutive days, and this report will give you the student list who has missed like this, and then you can take action accordingly. And the last one that I put here, student academic and attendance summary by course and status. So for these reports, you can actually create letters in the system. So these letters would be a first warning letter, second warning letter, or the final warning letter for the attendance. If the student has less than 80% first warning or something, depending on your attendance policies, and then you can send identify all the students whoever falls under this category, and then send them the regular warning letters. And then also you can put them in intervention, record them in intervention, and then you can follow up with them. So, so so to summarize in this session, attendance is very important when it comes to compliance and student engagement for identifying student at risk. So for recording the attendance correctly, the backbone is the timetables. Timetable has to be created correctly with all the information, and then that will allow you to create that will allow you to record the attendances correctly in the system. Once you record them correctly, the system will calculate all the current attendances and projected attendances. And depending on the projected attendances that you see, which is a system calculated value, so and then you can identify the students at risk. You can identify the students falling below a minimum attendance requirement, and then you can take necessary action accordingly. So we are at the end of our session. So if you have any questions, I would be happy to answer them. You can post your questions in the chat as we have some time left, as it is not a formal training. But on the MES platform, whichever it is, which is the high course or the high rate, so you can go to the timetable option on the MES platform, and then you can select the campus calendar type under which course you create in the class timetable. Then you would see the subjects appearing in the subject drop down. And you can select the semester, class start date and end date, what day is in the class, batch name, attendance type, as I have emphasized on choosing the right attendance type, and then start time and end time, and venue, in which room you want to set up this class. And then you can add new class. I would be happy to share our online user guide in class timetables that will give you step-by-step instructions on how to create class timetables. So the recording will be uploaded to our MES YouTube channel in a couple of days. We also have other webinars which are done by me and then my team. So you can go and check out all the webinars that are uploaded to our YouTube channel. So we have presented different topics and different functionalities. Again, Fortunately, as we only have 2 minutes left for this webinar session, I cannot demonstrate how to record the attendance in the MEST reception team Trinity, but I can send you the user guide. This is the user guide on how to record the attendance. So for both Fernando and Ryan, I'm going to share this PPT slides after the webinar to both of you.